Do you know what happens to everything you've worked for after you're gone? Because believe it or not, some successful entrepreneurs truly don't. In fact, I've seen countless business owners who run their companies with military precision, but have absolutely no plan for what happens to their wealth when they're no longer here. They create contingency plans for their businesses, they meticulously track their investments, and they obsess over tax strategies. But then, on the same token, completely neglect the most important wealth preservation tool, which is a proper estate plan. And without one of those in place, you're not just risking your assets, you're making it very possible that your family will face unnecessary stress, excessive taxes, and potential financial hardship during an already difficult time. My name is Omar Morillo. I'm the founder of Imperial Wealth Advisors, and I am a certified financial planner practitioner. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through what happens to your wealth if you pass away without an estate plan in place. We'll cover the probate process, tax implications, potential family conflicts, and the hidden costs some people never consider. Now, this isn't about fear-mongering. It's about you understanding the real consequences so that you can make informed decisions to help protect everything that you've worked so hard for. So if you care about preserving your wealth and protecting your family's future, stay with me. This may be the most important financial video you watch this year. So let's talk about some of the false assumptions that people make. Default distribution. Some people have dangerous misconceptions about what happens to their assets. They assume my spouse will automatically get everything, or my children will inherit everything equally. The government won't take much in taxes. My family will figure it out. The costly reality is that dying intestate or without a will means that state laws are going to determine who gets what and not according to your wishes. There are distribution formulas that vary state by state, and the assets, as I mentioned, may not go to who you would expect or who you'd want. There's no protection in place for blended families or non-traditional relationships. The probate process can be public, expensive, and time-consuming. What is probate? Probate is the legal process through which a will is validated, assuming there is one, and assets are distributed. It's required for most assets that don't have a designated beneficiary. Think brokerage account, life insurance contracts, bank accounts. If you don't have a designated beneficiary assigned to any of those accounts, for example, then those will have to go through the probate process. It's a court-supervised process that's entirely public record, and the financial costs of probates can be very high. In some cases, attorney's fees can be as high as 3 to 4% of your estate's value. For $1 million estate, you figure $30,000 to $40,000 in legal fees alone. On top of that, there are additional court costs, executor fees, appraisal costs. When it's all said and done, fees can end up consuming 5 to 8% of your total estate value. Now, let's talk about the time cost of probate. On average, the duration of probate can go from 9 to 24 months. This is based on national averages. Now, if your estate is complex, it can take upwards of 3 years to settle. And during that time, your assets will be frozen, which means that your family may lack access to the funds that they need. Now, let's talk about the tax consequences of not having proper estate planning in place. There's a federal estate tax exposure, and for 2025, the exemption is $13 million or $13.9 million per individual. Federal estate tax rates on amounts exceeding the exemption can go as high as 40% after crossing $1 million in excess. Now, the exemption is scheduled under the present law to drop approximately $7 million in 2026, adjusted for inflation. Now, in this case, we foresee that many successful business owners could be affected by this change. Now, beyond worrying about the federal estate taxes, there are state-level estate and inheritance taxes that you also may have to worry about, because 17 states plus DC have their own separate estate and inheritance taxes. And in those cases, the exemptions are much lower than the federal limits, some as low as $1 million. And those additional taxes can range from 10 to 20% on certain inheritances. There is no spousal exemption in some inheritance tax states. And beyond that, there are income implications, because you could have a loss of step-up in basis opportunity, missed Roth conversion strategies. There can be retirement account distribution penalties and unnecessary capital gains for heirs if proper planning isn't done. Now, here's a hidden cost that's also not considered: family conflict. Hypothetically speaking, a business owner has a $4.2 million estate with no estate plan in place, no trust, no will. They're in their second marriage. There are children from both marriages. What could go wrong? Well, the business will have to be liquidated at a discount in this case scenario, and the legal battle cost is estimated to be about $380,000 based on complexity and time. Family relationships are also altered. And common triggers for family disputes in these scenarios are simple things like unclear wishes regarding personal possessions. Who gets dad's watch? Who gets, his golf clubs? It can go down a very dark rabbit hole amongst family members when there is no clear direction for these things. Also, when there's a business succession uncertainty, and unequal distribution per state law. There can also be conflicts between the current spouse and children from prior relationships. And beyond that, we have to consider the emotional toll, which means that the grieving process now will be complicated by legal battles. And of course, the decision-making burden during a time of loss. And this opens up the potential for lifelong family rifts. And most important of all, there's no opportunity to honor your actual wishes because there's no guidance left. So in some situations, special ones, lack of planning can be catastrophic. For instance, as I mentioned earlier, business owners without a succession plan that may trigger a forced sale of the business at a discount. Key employees could leave amid uncertainty. Customers and clients could be lost during the transition period, and family members may lack the experience to manage operations. In the case of parents of minor children, and this is very important, remember that if you don't have a plan in place, who decides the guardianship of your children is the court without your input. Beyond that, anything that they inherit will be managed by a court-appointed conservator. And then the funds are released to the children at 18 with no restrictions. Think of that as a nice recipe for not good things to happen. There are no provisions for specific needs or values, especially when we consider special needs dependents. Why? Because direct inheritance may disqualify a special needs child who just became an adult from government benefits. There are no provisions for specialized care. The financial support structure therefore dissolves for this individual, this child in your family. And then their quality of life could be severely compromised as a result. So what is the solution? Well, a proper estate plan is based on your specific circumstances. Beyond just having a will, it is important to consider having a revocable living trust to avoid probate, and then having a pour-over will as a safety net or backup. Having in place durable powers of attorney is also very important, and advanced healthcare directives and taking advantage of tax optimization strategies is important as well. But if we go back one second, why have a durable power of attorney? Because sometimes things happen in life that don't necessarily take you out of the game, but they might sideline you. If someone's in a coma and is unable to make decisions, right? The bills and responsibilities of running the business and the bills on your personal life, they don't stop. Those continue coming. Having a durable power of attorney basically enables someone that you trust to step in your place to take care of the things that you're not able to handle because you're sidelined. So it's very important to consider that the estate planning process isn't just about what happens if you die. It's what happens also if you're just sidelined for some time. Beyond that, having an advanced healthcare directive gives guidance and direction to your loved ones about what are your wishes as far as medical care is concerned, and speaks for you during a time that you cannot. So moving along, tax optimization. In the area of estate planning, there are bypass trusts, spousal lifetime access trusts, better known as SLATs. There are strategic giving programs that you can deploy, charitable remainder trust, life insurance trust. Asset protection components of estate planning cannot be understated because they can provide for business succession provisions, spendthrift protections, generation skipping strategies, and setting in place a special needs trust when applicable. So as you have heard here, the question isn't whether something will happen to your wealth without an estate plan. It's really a question of how bad will the damage be. And all of it is completely avoidable with proper estate planning. I've spent years helping entrepreneurs, medical professionals, high-income earners, high-net worth families to protect their wealth through strategic estate plan. The peace of mind that comes from knowing that your legacy is secure is invaluable. Remember that estate planning isn't just about your money. It's about caring for your family even when you're no longer here to do it yourself. It's about ensuring that everything you've worked for benefits the people and the causes that you care most about. So if you have a net worth over 1 million, own a business, have a blended family, or just want to make sure your wishes are honored, click the link in the description to schedule a consultation with my team and I. And during this consultation, we'll discuss your specific situation and identify the estate planning strategies that might make the most sense for your specific circumstances. And for actual wealth planning from an actual certified financial planning professional, please like and subscribe for more strategic content like this. Thanks for watching.